Welcome to Health Live at Seniors Today. We have here with us today leading dermatologist and pioneer of aesthetic dermatology in India, Dr. Malavika Kohli. I've tried digging through the internet and found so much about her that I could well spend an hour just doing that. So let me quickly tell you a little about Dr. Kohli. Dr. Kohli is recognized as one of the pioneers of aesthetic dermatology in India. We'll ask her a little more about that, and has been in clinical practice for over 25 years. She's a consultant dermatologist at the Jaslok and Beach Candy hospitals in Mumbai, and is the director of Skin Secrets, a prominent dermatology and aesthetics center in Mumbai. A prolific orator, she has been invited as faculty and on the advisory board and scientific chair for many educational dermatology and aesthetic dermatology forums and societies in India. Dr. Kohli is well known as a cosmetology consultant to Lakme India Fashion Week and the Femina Miss India pageant. She's been a judge at the Vogue Beauty Awards and at the Vogue Bridal Show. Welcome to Health Live at Seniors Today, Dr. Kohli. And before I get people to ask you questions, I'm going to request you to say a few opening remarks about dermatology, about healthcare, about skincare specifically, and especially for senior citizens in general.
Sure. Thank you very much, Mr. Maheshwari, for this very warm invitation, and I'm so happy to be part of this this episode of Seniors Today. And I would like to thank Dr. Mr. Vikram Sethi and his team as well. And the seniors are very, very important in our lives and in our practices as well. I must say that I have a father-in-law, mother-in-law, and a father, all of whom are well beyond 85, my father-in-law is a nonagenarian. And so I'm quite well versed with what afflicts seniors, as well as what is the skin all about as we change, as the clock ticks, and also as we age. And I'd like to say that we see a fair number of patients, senior citizens in my practice. That's because we have a dermatology as well as an aesthetic practice. That means we see all routine clinical dermatology and skin-related issues, from pediatrics or children right up to geriatrics, that's older individuals. And we also handle all the aesthetic concerns related to the skin as you grow older and as you age. So let me divide my sharings with all of you into two sections. One, I would say, is the dermatology aspect, and one is the aesthetic aspect. Why don't we cover both of these aspects briefly? What do you say, Mr. Maheshwari?
Absolutely, absolutely. People would be, would love to hear it from you.
Great, great. So we have a clinic at Pedder Road where I've been in practice for over 27 years. And it's a legacy from my father, who's a cardiologist and still practices. My mother was a gynecologist, she practiced there too. And now we have a clinic at Khar, which is about 5 years old, and where we are also doing the exact same practice. And I have to say that over the years, what I've found and seen in dermatology, as far as our senior citizens go, is that the most common complaint they have is of dryness. And dryness of skin all over the body, dryness of their face also. They also come with a lot of itchy scalps. A lot of them have itchy scalps. And by the time you're of a certain age, you're always on some medication. Unless you're really blessed, you're always on some medication, either for cholesterol, or after a stent, or after a bypass, or anti-diabetics, or antihypertensive. So one is prone to getting drug rashes. So you also are prone to getting easily fungal infections. At your age, you're also more prone to getting rashes from environmental changes. Those who had allergies when they were younger and may have outgrown them, their skin can suddenly become sensitive. Now, why is that? That's because as we age, our skin gets thinner, naturally thinner. Our hormones change. So all the good hormones that kept the skin's vitality go down. So the skin is not that vital, the wear and tear is more, and the repair and recovery is slower, just as it is for any other organ of the body. With that comes the greater need to moisturize, because the skin can't hold so much water, which is also why you get complains of lines and wrinkles. But lines and wrinkles affect, which are, cosmetic, are more on the face, the neck, the chest, the back of the hands, and sometimes the arms. We Indians are also more prone to pigmentation. So we also are more prone to having diabetes. So that makes us more prone to getting boils and fungal infections. As we age, our nails grow slower. So because our nails grow slower, they become harder, they become brittle. Even if you take biotin, your nails still are very difficult to clip and cut. So we tend to get more fungal infections. It's difficult to reach your toes to cut your own nails, difficult to wipe your feet. So you may get a fungal infection between your toes. You also can have as you grow older, you can also find that your hair begins to change. It grows slower. Of course, graying is a natural event, but it grows slower. It doesn't look so shiny. It doesn't look so fresh and glossy. And you may have some hair loss. You may also have some balding. So these are part of hormonal changes, your genetics, as well as due to certain diseases. So the most common thing we see in the senior citizens is dryness. We also do see a lot of drug reactions. So dryness, you need a really good moisturizer. Now, there's a new generation of moisturizers, which are what we call barrier repair moisturizers. So they just don't moisturize only, they also help to repair the skin. And if you repair the skin, automatically the itching goes down. If the itching goes down, your rash will go down. Sometimes people have just a itch. They have no rash. They just keep complaining of itch. If this persists, then this could be due to an internal cause from the kidneys, from the liver, or maybe any other allergies that may have developed as you grow older. Can you get food allergies as you grow older? Yes. Or if you were younger and had food allergies, they can pop up as you grow older. So it is important for us to know that allergies do occur, but because the skin's immunity also changes as you grow older, you may get a much more severe rash than you normally would have. And the rash takes much longer to go. So it may take 2 weeks for a rash to go, it may take 4 weeks for a rash to go, and the itching can take longer to go. So we have a very wide array of creams, of tablets, anti-itch, anti-allergic, very safe tablets which are anti-itching. We have very good moisturizers today. We have very good nail creams. We have very good hair serums for restoring your hair. We can also do aesthetic procedures. So there's a lot that we can offer to you today, which is safe, which does not have steroids, which does not have any chemicals, which is paraben-free, fragrance-free. So this is the new generation of products that's available. And these can all be used safely over a long period of time to address the various concerns that you may have. You may also find some of us are very bothered about the way we look and would like to see that odd line, wrinkle, or the sagging of the jawline, neck, and jowl that one gets over here as one ages. So there are safe procedures through machines, through lasers, through radio frequency, through ultrasound, which can be used to tighten and lift the jawline, the neck, which can help to open up the eyes, which can help to give the face a nice, natural, lifted look. Of course, there are injectables like PRP, which is stem cell and growth factors taken from your blood. You could also do a Botox filler. I have injected even individuals as much into their 80s, and why not? You're never too old, and it's never too late. And the best part is that if you feel that, oh, I'm 70, and why should I start using a sunscreen at this age? It's never too late. It's amazing and beautiful how the skin can respond at any point. Of course, the response is going to be a little slower. If you want to build collagen, of course you can. It's going to be slower. Things are going to stay less. They're not going to last that long. But that doesn't mean that you cannot keep up with it, because today, all our lives are about maintaining a good health, good lifestyle, eating the right kind of foods. We can take all of this in the questions, as well as we also need to maintain ourselves. And today, maintenance is the key. And with maintenance comes good health, good skin, good hair, and you can also have a healthy, fresh look about your skin. You could have good skin health. There are good antioxidants, 1000 mg vitamin C, zinc, all can be taken at this age without any fear or worry. In fact, we're all doing this in the COVID era, taking 1000 mg of vitamin C, taking our zincs, looking after ourselves, a 1 hour walk every day, one green, red, yellow in your diet, some omega-3 from walnuts, avocado, flax seeds, or supplements. All of these, good amount. Each meal should be balanced so that you have a good amount of protein, carb, and fat. All of this will go a very good way in looking after your skin, making sure that it's firmer from an aesthetic point of view. If you want to keep your skin disease-free, use a good sunscreen that will help to lighten any pigmentation. And also you should have a good moisturizer. These, I would say, are the two most important things to use as you grow older. And of course, we as dermatologists are always there to help and guide you. If you have a rash or if you have a particular concern, we can always help you out and help you to look after your skin and guide you as to the correct medication, with, of course, keeping in mind your age and keeping in mind that you may be taking other medicines. So we have a holistic approach in looking after your skin needs, your hair needs, your nail needs, your aesthetic needs. And the way the science has grown, it's amazing how much we can do and how much it can help and how much it can actually also last. So I think with this preamble, I'm happy to open up the session to question and answers and address whatever everybody would like to know.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Kohli. Now, tell me, you spoke about the fact that there's no real age for taking skin treatment, right? You can do it even when you're 80. Now, in the course of your practice, do you find that the number of people who are coming into you at a very senior age, is that increasing? Has it increased over the years, or is it the same as what it was 25 years back?
Oh yeah, it definitely has increased over the years. And the reason it's increased over the years is because there is, one, far more awareness, but two, today everybody's traveling, everybody's going out. I mean, well, pre-COVID, everybody was traveling, everybody was going out. Weddings had become so huge. Everybody was doing destination weddings. So the whole milieu, the whole environment had totally opened up and had become very open to, everybody wanting to feel good, look good, be their best at that point, at that moment. So definitely, I would say that there was a huge spurt in the number of people who started coming, definitely in their 40s and 50s. But I found that even women, more of course women, above the age of 60 going into 70, is the women who really come. Some men do come, but the women were really coming to look after their skin. And a very, very big one is hair. Hair bothers everybody across all genders and ages.
Many questions which people have requested that they stay anonymous, given the fact that it concerns the skin. So one of them says that I would like to gift my mother a gift for her 60th birthday, which is a Botox treatment. Is that a good idea, or is that avoidable?
See, I think it's a great idea. And I would like to congratulate you on the gesture as well for your mother. I think if she's open to it, why not? What would be the contraindications? Okay, so the contraindications would be if she has myasthenia gravis, which is a neurological condition, or if she has, or if she is on blood thinners, then you would have to stop it 4 days before. The only other reason would be if she had some neurological conditions. Otherwise, really, there is no contraindication for her to take it. And of course, we'd like to make her look very fresh, natural. We don't want to look stark and, odd. So of course, we do the Botox very age appropriate, and it would make her look fresh and open-eyed. And she would really enjoy the treatment. Of course, we take the utmost care. We'd make sure that there is nothing, when we evaluate and assess, there is nothing where it could go wrong or it's not indicated. I would definitely say a no. I would not just do it for the sake of doing it.
There's a question from Lakshman Prabhu, who says, there are some warts and boils on my head, which is irritating me and itching. Please advise some remedy.
So yes, there are, after a certain age group, especially after 45, 50, 55, every 5 years after that, if especially you have a genetic tendency, or if you have diabetes, or if you have insulin resistance, or you already had them, or in women after pregnancies and as they grow older, you can get these skin tags, what we say, and sometimes you get these flat itchy warts. So really there is no cream to get rid of it. You have to remove them. And removal is very simple, very easy. You have to use, like to use the radio frequency technology, which is done under local cream application. So there is no anesthesia also required. And the healing is very fast, within 5-7 days, no need for any antibiotics. So, you know, it is a very a useful way to remove them. But if you ask me, do I have to remove them? Well, if they are harmless, no need. If they're irritating you and you don't like them, yes. And we have a special instrument called the dermoscope, which we can use to see that they're not cancerous or dangerous. Then, of course, you have to biopsy and then remove them. But that in the Indian scenario is very rare.
Doctor, if you know, I know we're not going to name brands, but is there some kind of a overall advice that you can give in terms of selection of shampoos and hair color, something that you need to be careful about, something, because obviously for selecting a type of a shampoo, one wouldn't be approaching a dermatologist like yourself for a question as basic as that. So, and there's a fair amount of information available on the internet, but you don't know whether it's correct. So, what is an overall, what is a general guideline that you could give to our readers for that?
Sure. So, shampoos, you see, are basically detergent based and non-detergent based, if you want to classify it very simply. Shampoos also have the ionic and non-ionic, that was very technical. But shampoos also have a conditioning component to them and a non-conditioning component. So, if you have an oily scalp, let me guide you simply. If you have an oily scalp, you could use a shampoo which has a bit of detergent. You can have reduced sulfates, or you could use a shampoo with sulfate, and that will help to degrease your scalp. That's especially good for children, you know, because they sweat a lot, sports people, people who sweat a lot, outdoor jobs. But if your ends are very dry, so if your scalp is oily and the ends are dry, you can pick up a good conditioner for dry ends, which you can then complement the dry ends. Therefore, you have a clean scalp and you have softer dry ends. So your dry ends get softer and your hair is balanced out. You could also, if you have normal kind of hair, you have no problems, it's just normal, healthy hair, you could use a shampoo plus conditioner. It's rolled into one bottle. So you have many shampoo plus conditioners which you can use and don't have to use a separate conditioner. If you have dry hair, then you have to use a more conditioning shampoo. So it will say conditioning base, it will have a conditioner in it, the shampoo as well as the conditioner. If you have unruly hair, then you're supposed to use detergent-free, phosphate-free shampoos which don't add to the frizz. Then you have colored, chemically treated hair. These are specially designed shampoos which again have less of chemicals, less of detergents, more of conditioning bases to smoothen the hair. So these are the other categories. And then of course you have hair loss shampoos, which have certain ingredients like caffeine and peptides and amino acids to nourish the hair follicles and help to strengthen them because they're a bit weak. So hair loss has become a huge problem. And so one should have a good B12, a good D3, a good ferritin, check the thyroid levels. If it's younger girls, check their hormones in case they have polycystic ovaries, hyperlactin, or any thyroid abnormality should be ruled out. It depends on the case. But general balding, like what men go through and nowadays some women, genetic balding, you don't have to go through so many investigations. But there are other hair loss shampoos for such situations as well, to strengthen the nourishing shampoos to strengthen. So usually the bottles have the labels, and that is how you go about picking them up.
We have a question from an anonymous attendee who says, what does one do about freckles?
Sure. Freckles by and large are genetic. Freckles may not always be genetic, but by and large they're genetic. And freckles usually indicate that you are more sun sensitive. So that means you need to use a good sunscreen. So let's talk a little bit about sunscreens. Today you have broad spectrum sunscreens. That means they not only cover the UV spectrum, but they also cover infrared and they also cover visible light and blue light that comes from gadgets, computers, and indoor lighting. Now, if you use a good broad spectrum sunscreen, the ingredient should be zinc oxide, may have titanium dioxide, and it may also have iron oxide if it's more for visible light. But zinc oxide is the most important one. It may have some other agents such as cinnamates, anthranolates, oxybenzophenones, avobenzone. So these are the different agents that are added to a sunscreen to make it smooth, finished, and give your skin a nice clean look. But if you have freckles, you have to use a sunscreen every day. You must reapply it if you're out in the sun. And you can do treatments, you can do creams to lighten it out, you can do laser also, but freckles by and large come back. And freckles, people who have freckles even at a young age should use sunscreen right from the beginning. I would say, Mr. Maheshwari, that the best investment I made was to start using a sunscreen, whichever one there was at that time, because I had the knowledge, I knew also which one to use from the age of 30. And I think that is the best investment I made to make sure that my skin looks smooth, free of pigment, and I've used it every day. I use it twice a day. I have an indoor sunscreen, which is about SPF 30, and my outdoor sunscreens are SPF 50 plus. Up to 60 is good. You don't have to buy 70 and 100 and all that. And now with the newer generation of sunscreens, they're less sticky, they're less oily, they're silicone based, and you need to use at least a full fingertip amount, dot it, blend it in with your fingertips and smoothen it all over your face. And ideally, you should do it twice a day. So this is how a sunscreen has to be used. And it is crucial in any good skincare plan at any age, right till the end. I call it our lifelong partners. Okay, so this is sunscreen till I die.
You mentioned that sunscreen is needed even if you're not going out in the sun, even with indoor light.
Because today indoor lights are recognized to be like you have the UV, they emit UVA, UVB. They also can emit the newer, more understood infrared if it's very warm, or it can also emit blue light or visible light, which is high energy visible light, which we're getting from our gadgets. And now in COVID, we're all sitting in front of gadgets all day. So a lot of my patients, we're doing teleconsults now. So a lot of my patients are saying, Doc, why am I tanning when I'm sitting indoors? Because you are getting UV wherever you are, unless you're sitting in a dark room with a dim tube light, you know, or your entire area where you sit has got these newer LED lights which are UV free. You get these UV free lights now. But you know, that's not everybody's scene, isn't it? Not everybody can get into that kind of scene. So it's better to use a sunscreen. It's a good investment. It takes 2 minutes to do. Even if you use it once a day, it's a good investment.
We have a question from Neelam Sethi who asks, what is the remedy for dry, brittle nails?
Yeah, that's a good one. So, hi Neelam. So the thing is that dry brittle nails, a commonest cause would be the lack of biotin. And women, especially after 40, experience dry brittle nails because the estrogen is going down, and also because they do need extra biotin supplementation despite having a good diet. So you start with 10 mg of biotin daily for 3 to 6 months, and then maintain on 5 mg biotin daily, which will also be a good vitamin for your hair, which also gets dry and brittle with time. The other thing you can do for dry brittle nails is you can use a moisturizer with ceramides in it. So there are a large, good number of moisturizers which have ceramides, and those help to rebuild the lost natural fatty layer of the nails. So I think my nails are pretty good, and I take 5 mg of biotin every day, and I moisturize every night my nails. I like to use also a little bit of coconut oil on them, the virgin cold compressed coconut oil. So, you know, in the morning, I pour a little bit of teaspoon of coconut oil in my black coffee with a dash of cinnamon and have it in the morning like that bullet shot. And the rest of the little coconut oil, I put onto my nails. And I'll give you a little other tip I do. I put it into my eyebrows, a little on my eyelids. So, you know, everything gets nicely nourished and lubricated. It's held me in good stead. And I think these are nice, natural, simple tips everybody would like to know. And so coconut oil is good. Also, I'll tell you another reason why the nails get dry and brittle in today's times is gel nails, because they're very, very drying to the nails. And when you have to remove it, you have to scrape it off. Another reason could be a more superficial fungal infection. And another reason is people like to go too often to the salon to get their manicures. Now the salons have opened up and everybody is rushing to the salon to get a manicure, pedicure. They'll try to clean up your nails too much, over remove the cuticles, buff them. That will take the keratin layer off. And if you like to use a lot of nail paint, you should keep some breathing space between applications, at least a few days between when you remove your nail polish, and also don't use harsh acetone. So these will help to make sure that your nails remain nice and lubricated as well as soft, and don't look rough and dry. These are some of my tips to you. Also, there was a question about the treatment of local application for viral warts, isn't it?
Right.
So, there are two types of warts in the neck area. They could either be genetic or hereditary, as you mentioned, or they could be viral. Are you sure they're viral? If you are, then there are some applications. There are these medical creams that contain imiquimod. There are some other ones that contain these natural ingredients which can help the local immunity. But by and large, if they are viral, they usually have to be removed because they tend to come back. And so you have to remove them, and you have to make sure you're not in contact with the source. So it could be coming from pools, could be coming from massages, it could be coming from pets. These are the usual ways we get viral warts. But if they're genetic, the only way to get rid of them is to remove them.
We have a question from an anonymous attendee who says, I'm 58 years old. I have a bakery business, so spend a lot of time near the gas stove. I'm having pigmentation on my cheekbones. Is it due to the long hours near the gas stove? What should I do? Any suggestion which sunscreen should I use indoors?
Sure. I like this question because it's specific and it's a very new age problem, where what you're really asking me is, how come I'm indoors? How come I'm getting pigmentation? Yes, you're right. You're getting it from infrared. So infrared is almost 50% of the whole photospectrum. And infrared is the part that is warm. So for those of us who are in front of induction cookers, microwaves, humid kitchens, ovens, and working in warm environments with open windows, we are getting infrared. So you need to pick up a good sunscreen which has zinc oxide. You can read the ingredients when you buy it: zinc oxide, titanium dioxide, and ferric or iron oxide. These three ingredients you have to put 20 minutes before you start your day, and they will last you for about 2 hours to max 3 hours. You need to use actually 3 ml or a teaspoonful, evenly applied all over your face. The newer generation ones are non-sticky. And then you should, after 3 hours, when you break for lunch, you can reapply it again if you continue to be in that environment. But yes, the pigmentation is because it's not just about the rays, it's about the heat. So they have found nowadays in latest scientific findings that the pigment cells called melanocytes are not only photo UV sensitive, they are heat sensitive. So if you keep getting a warm feeling to your skin and also rub side by side, but even without rubbing, your pigment cells are getting stimulated, and that is why you are getting darker with time. So yes, it was a very good question, and this is the answer.
Thanks. We have a question from Shalini Piramal, and Shalini Piramal asks, is niacinamide and ceramide's content in moisturizer and face wash safe for teenagers with acne?
Hi, Shalini. Your question was niacinamide and ceramides in moisturizers?
Moisturizer, is it safe for teenagers with acne?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Niacinamides help in unclogging the congested skin. So the skin has a little bit of clogged up pores, little red, eruptions all over. Or if one has a tendency to rosacea, which is a condition where you get redness on the face as well as in the centrofacial area, which is also due to chili food, spicy food. So niacinamide also helps in smoother blood flow. So if you have a smoother blood flow to your skin, it will decongest it and also make it look fresher and less clogged up. So niacinamide is safe. We also have preparations which have it around the eye. So it's safe. Ceramides are a special type of ingredient, which is a natural component of our cell wall. So if you're using a moisturizer with ceramides, it will replenish the ceramide in your own skin cells, provided it's depleted. So not everybody needs ceramides in a moisturizer, but those who have very dry skin, those who have allergic tendencies with atopic dermatitis or eczema, and those who have very sensitive skin or deficient in ceramide, they will do very well with the ceramide containing moisturizer. And niacinamide is absolutely safe. It comes in a variety of preparations.
We have a question from an anonymous attendee again, who says, what kind of face masks would you recommend? There are quite a few Korean face masks which are cheap and reasonable and do a good job and quick job. Is it safe to use them?
Sure. This whole DIY, do it yourself, has now become big, isn't it? Especially in the COVID era, and also it's a huge market anyway. And the Koreans are known for their products, and they have fabulous products. There's no question about it. I've been to Korea several times. I've given lectures there. I've gone all over. I've seen all their products. I've been to trade fairs called Cosmoprof, where you have a lot of Korean products. They really are of good quality, and the R&D and the FDA for Korea is very strong. So these products go through a lot of testing. So I don't think you should be worried about the quality. Just make sure they haven't expired and you're getting them from the correct source. These sheet masks are very useful, very handy. You can use them at home, and all you need to do is, if you want to do a mini facial at home, you can cleanse your face with your own cleanser. Then you can take a small steamer which has a spout, and you can take a gentle light steam from that spout covering your face, so only your nose gets it, and lightly you can also remove the towel and then get it around your entire face very gently. Keep it at least about 6 inches away from your face. Just take a light steam for a couple of minutes, not longer than 5. Then take away the steamer, lightly splash your face with water. Cool water would be lovely. You can spritz it with a thermal spring water or even some rose water, and then let it get absorbed. Open the sheet mask, apply it all over, lie down for 20-30 minutes, put the lights off, listen to your favorite music or catch a quick snooze. Just peel it off, and then just take the excess that is left on your skin from the mask, just lightly massage it into your skin, and seal it with the moisturizer if you have very dry skin, and you're good to go. You could do this once a week. You could do this twice a week. The masks that come up from charcoal masks for clogged up skin and oily skin, acne prone skin, to vitamin C booster masks, to hydrating masks. They're called like hydration bomb masks. There's serums in it. There's hyaluronic acid masks. So those with dry skin can use a hyaluronic acid mask. So these are good, friendly, feel good products which you can use, but please use them only once and throw them away. Don't try to reuse them, and don't share them, for God's sake. The same mask two people should not use. I also, Mr. Maheshwari, saw one question about, the excessive dryness of hands in this COVID era due to hand sanitization and, of course, washing of the hands with soap. So, yes, this has become a problem. Just the other day, I had a 14-year-old who had a terrible rash on the hands. She's already got an eczema tendency. So those who have eczema and already have sensitive skin will have worse of a problem than those who have less sensitive skins. But very frequently washing and rubbing too hard. So we've been told that 20-second rule of washing and rubbing. And then, so some people put soap and then sanitizer. So either you use soap or you use sanitizer. Don't rub too hard. Wash well, sanitize well. You don't have to rub too hard. And then 10 minutes later, do use a moisturizer. You can keep it in your handbag, your pocket. Do use a moisturizer, one with ceramides, one with squalene. Those who are that are barrier building, these are your keywords. You can ask a chemist, or you can Google them and find them, or offline maybe we can help you. Are the kind of moisturizers you need to use, and luckily they're not very sticky. In fact, today, Mr. Maheshwari, I started my day, interestingly, with an urgent call from a relative of whose father, being octogenarian, had a bad rash that could not be decoded and diagnosed. So I said, what better day than today when I'm giving this lecture? The first call of the day was from a senior citizen asking for help. And yes, the skin does misbehave in this age group, and it does have its own peculiarities. The immunity of the skin changes, but we do have solutions for you. But you sometimes need to give solutions some time, because the skin takes longer to respond and longer to clear up. These are some of the things that does happen as we go into this golden era of being senior citizens. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Dr. Malavika Kohli. It was amazing that you took took so much time off to address questions of people, of our readers, and I'm sure this session has benefited all. Thank you very much once again, and we'll be back with another session of Health Live at Seniors Today next Saturday, 5 p.m.